Hey guys, this is Christy. This is my 39-week pregnancy update. I know you guys all have been following along the past couple months now. I have my full playlist down below of all of our updates. This one will be my last pre-pregnancy video because I'm going to be giving birth very soon. I have already been induced, so actually usually I film my videos, my update videos, when I'm almost ending that week. Filmed the 38-week video when I was like 38 plus 5 days or plus 6 days, so it was kind of what had happened throughout the week. Now I'm actually only 39 plus 2 days, 39 weeks plus 2 days. So I filmed my last video on Thursday, it went up Friday, and now it's only Sunday. But I've already been induced. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the process so far, and how I'm feeling, which is not that great right now. So I was put on the induction list on Thursday because I have high blood pressure, no other symptoms of preeclampsia, but still my blood pressure has been consistently higher than normal, so they wanted to induce me before it became more of a problem and required like an emergency C-section. So I was pretty low on the induction list. Also in my city, I heard that unless it's like an emergency, usually the typical wait is about 48 hours, so 2 days. So this was past that point. I was on my third day, and of course we made all these plans of things we were going to do today, including getting my hair cut, which I still did. I was gonna go do some like shopping while I was out, just to get some like cleaning products and stuff. And then Dan's dad was gonna come over to build the crib. Not that our son's gonna use the crib right away, we have a bassinet, but just to build it. And then we were gonna do takeout for dinner with his parents coming over. So we had all these plans, and then sure enough at about 11:30 in the morning, I got the phone call saying, we'd like for you to come in to be induced. Can you make it for 2:30? And I had my hair appointment for 12:30, so we did that. It doesn't look as good anymore because the stylist was like, oh, do you want me to curl it? Do you want me to do something nice to it? And I'm like, realistically, I'm gonna put it back because I'm going into labor. Plus, I was already cutting it close, so I said, just leave it. And then I had it back like in a ponytail, so there's a bump, but that's okay. So anyways, all this stuff. And so up until that point, I mean, the evenings or like overnights were tricky for me, getting out of bed and like rolling over from one side now that my belly was so big. But honestly, my pregnancy hasn't been that bad, aside from like the back pain from a long time ago. But like my feet aren't swollen. I was still super active. I was moving things around, carrying light things, but you know, organizing things. Up until yesterday, still feeling good. I went to the hospital today to be induced. I went up to labor and delivery. They checked. I'm still only 1 centimeter dilated, which is not much. So basically there are a couple different ways to induce you. There's a Cook's catheter, which is like a balloon to dilate you, or then they can use a drug, prostaglandin. So I mean, I just said whichever, you know, they said that we're gonna do this one. So they use the drug. So basically it's like a long, flat tampon-like thing that they insert in your uterus, and it helps with time your cervix to dilate. And then they kept me there for about an hour. I was also doing a non-stress test. I was hooked up so they could monitor me as well as baby's heartbeat and things. Everything was looking good. My blood pressure's still super high, even higher than before. They did it twice. The first time I forget, it was something, and then diastolic was over 103. And then the second time it was 144 over 97, which is super high too, because usually you're supposed to be 120 over 80. So 144 over 97, still very high. But obviously not too much of a concern. They still then, you know, let me go. So they monitored me, just making sure, I think essentially that they don't want it to work too well. I guess like they don't want me to start going into contractions, because if I'm only 1 centimeter dilated, my body's not ready to give birth. So I have strict instructions to come back if my water breaks or I start getting contractions like regularly, like for 45 seconds to a minute every 3 to 5 minutes for about an hour, or if I start getting, even if it's not consistently like an hour's time, but if I start having 5 separate contractions in 10 minutes, or if I notice any bleeding, or if that like tampon-like thing that has drugs being released comes out, falls out, then obviously I have to go back in. And if none of those happen, then I have to go back in 24 hours. So tomorrow at around 2:30, and then they're going to decide, I guess, if I'm still not dilated, then they'll probably do it again, insert another round of prostaglandins in. Or then if I am dilated more than, I don't know, I think over 3 centimeters at least, then they'll give me oxytocin, and that will help me have contractions, and I think it works very well. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but just from what my understanding of them telling me, it sounded like, yeah, that it works well to start inducing contractions, but like my body's not ready for contractions right now because I'm only 1 centimeter dilated. So that's the plan. They said I may feel a little crampy, which I am. I'm not enjoying that. Also, I rarely would get period cramps. Like they say, it often feels like really bad period cramps. And in my, I don't know, 15 years I've had my period, I've only gotten period cramps like a handful of times. So again, I'm not used to that feeling. So this is just kind of uncomfortable. When I was hooked up to with the non-stress test, the first time she was like, oh, you had a little Braxton Hicks contraction. I was like, oh, huh, I didn't even feel that. Awesome. And then, because I was on it for like an hour and a bit, as it went on, then I did feel 2 Braxton Hicks contractions, and they were not fun. Oh my goodness. And then when the nurse came back in, she's like, oh, and I see another one, did you feel that? I'm like, oh yes, I did. But still just Braxton Hicks, they're not coming regularly. I noticed that I do have to defecate a little bit more. I heard that can be a sign of things moving along. I've already done it twice since I got home this afternoon. But it could also just, I don't know, sometimes I get the stress poops, so that could also be it. I don't know. But yeah, it's not necessarily, I'm not in a whole bunch of pain, it's just uncomfortable for me because I don't experience period cramps very often. It feels like I'm like super constipated and it's just, I want to go to the bathroom but I can't. And it's just that super uncomfortable feeling that just kind of lasts. And I was lying down when I came home and I thought it would make it better. It kind of did, but it's still just, I just feel a little achy. Then I ate something and I was sitting up and moving. It sounds like when I actually move, it does hurt a little bit more. So I don't know. But baby will probably come, what's the date today? The 28th. So it probably won't come tonight because honestly, I can't really see myself start getting, I mean, maybe it'll happen overnight, but we'll see. But maybe baby will be born on the 29th, or I wouldn't mind the 30th as a date, but then that means I have to wait until Tuesday, and that's a long time. So maybe baby will be born on the 29th, so Monday, tomorrow, hopefully. But I realize I'm a big wuss, and now I was like, why am I doing this to myself? But it will all be worth it when I see little baby boy. I will show you my bump. It's only been, what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days since I showed it last. But next time I go to the hospital, I'm probably not coming back without baby. So obviously I'll still have a big bump or big belly after I give birth. It doesn't just all go away, as much as I'd love that. But yeah, there won't be a baby in there anymore. Oh my god, it's gonna hurt so bad. So yes, I'll show you my bump. I don't even have my nice pants on. It's just too hot, so I have on my shirts that my belly hangs out the bottom because he's super low. I never did the trying on my pre-pregnancy clothes. I should have done it this morning or yesterday, but when I got the call today, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I have to quickly go and have my hair cut and then go in. But yeah, baby is super low. Oh, oh dear. Yeah, it just really hurts to move. Alright, we're almost done. So that is my adventure today. And yeah, that's going to be it for my series of pre-pregnancy update videos. Next time I film, well, depending how things go, you may see me next in a What Ate Wednesday video, or then next will be my introduction to my little baby boy. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.